Hello, welcome. I'm Pauline from PQW and I'm very excited to tell you we're actually releasing a pattern for a quilt that's been sought after for a long time. As I've travelled around the globe to do all the craft shows, my Circle Celebration quilts have been very popular. So people kept asking for a pattern, so here we are, we've got it released. So I'm just going to take you through and show you a few of the little hints and tips making this quilt. It is a quilt as you go quilt, so it's very simple for a beginner or somebody that can't manage to quilt a big quilt in a little domestic machine. So what we're going to do to start with, we just simply cut our backing, our batting and our top layer out. We use the Hobbs fusible batting, which is absolutely wonderful because I can iron my 3 layers together. I don't need any safety pins. It's just so simple to use. We then quilt the blocks. Now we can quilt the blocks however you want. You know, we've done a lot of fancy quilting on our quilts because we love doing that. But if you're a beginner and you're not au fait with doing fancy quilting, quilt straight lines, quilt curves, quilt anything that's simple for you. Here's one block that we've got quilted up. We've done some feathers and some spirals. It's all ready now for us to put the circles on. But I just want to talk to you about the tools that we've used for the construction of this quilt, because I believe the tools are a very important part of the journey to make it easy for you and time effective, and to give you a beautiful result. Like going back to the batting that I use, it took me a long time to find the batting that we really needed to give a good result, because when we do our quilts quilt as you go, we're going to put a sashing over the top of the seam and we don't want bulk at that seam. And I found a lot of the other battings gave me too much bulk. So that's why I refer to that batting. It's Hobbs fusible 80% cotton, 20% polyester batting. So we sell it by the metre or by the yard, and it is just wonderful to use. So give it a go, give it a go. We're going to use the bias sasha ruler because we want to be able to cut our fabric on the true bias for when we go around our curves. When we put our bias around the circles, we want to be able to get that bias laying perfectly flat. And this class is really about teaching you how to do those sort of things. We use our nested circle sets because we want to cut out all different size circles. So having a set of circles like this, you can cut out any size circle you want for any application. So every size that you'll ever need. We're going to use the 1/4 inch, the 1/2 inch and the 1 inch sasha tools. And they are the genuine sasha tools. I am the designer of these tools. I was the person that came up with the patented idea for these. So I would like you to make sure you're using the right genuine tools. Otherwise you may not get an effect where we've got all the people that are now copying us and not getting the sizes right, not getting the product right, and it's causing a lot of grief to a lot of people. So make sure you get the right ones. We have the pattern, which will give you all the instructions step by step, got lots of coloured photos in it so you know exactly what to do when you need to do it. My Quilt As You Go book, it's all about teaching you so many things about Quilt As You Go. It has all your measurements to cut your sashings. It has, when we do a little flange on our bindings and on our sashings, it'll give you the measurements of those and what tools to use. It'll take you through cutting your fabric on the bias, step by step. It'll take you through making different quilts. It's not a book that has patterns in it, it is a technique book. So it'll give you all the things that you need to know of how to stitch right on the edge of your sashing, how you'll be able to hide your stitching line so it's not going to be visible, so that nobody will know that that it is a Quilt As You Go quilt. The back of the quilt will look like any normal quilt. So get started. Get yourself going with your circle celebrations. Here we've got the circles put onto our quilted fabric. Now to put our circles down, we don't use fusible web, we use the Roxanne glue basted. This is the glue that we use. We then make our bias using the 1/4" sasher tool, and we glue the bias on. Once we've got the bias glued on, we join the blocks together. We use the back-to-back technique. We put our blocks wrong sides together. The seam is on the top. We set this seam down with the Roxanne glue. Then we make a sashing and we put it over the top of the seam. And then we join all the rows together across the quilt, and then we join the rows together going down the quilt. Very, very simple, neat technique. So please join us. Go to our YouTube channel, have a look, subscribe so you get our an update when our next lot of videos come out for you to watch. And also go to our website, www.pqw.com.au. And happy quilting till we meet again. Bye for now.